Chinese teenage phenom Pan Zhanle set the world on fire last summer at the Olympics, beating the field by a body length and setting the world record in the 100 freestyle. In this video, we're gonna look at what makes him so good and 3 specific things that he does that we can copy to make our freestyle quicker, easier, and faster. So let's get ready to dive in. I'm Siska. Welcome to the channel. So glad you're here. Let's dive in with Pan. The first thing I want you to notice is that he has exceptional body alignment. All his power in his stroke is going forward and he's not snaking side to side at all. This is often seen in new swimmers and they lose power like this. Even when he's finishing, he's completely aligned, putting all his power forward. Now, Pan is known for having great feel for the water, and we're gonna look at some things that you can do to improve your feel. His hand position and what he does with his fingers causes him to grab so much more water. You can notice that he separates himself from the pack even in a sprint race like this. I mean, they've been swimming for 20 seconds and he's already got half a body length lead. It's just incredible. So this is something we really want to look at and copy. Now, finally, Pan's high elbow catch underneath the water is better than most. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about. When he pulls back and you combine it with his great feel for the water with his hands, he's just like he's over a barrel. Bam, look at that right there. It's like literally underneath him, he's got a beer keg that he's pulling back and pushing behind him. We're gonna go to the pool and show you exactly how to do this so that we can copy this exceptional swimmer. Just amazing. You can't execute a proper catch if your body is not in proper alignment. If you over-rotate, you can't get the catch right, and if you under-rotate, you can't get the catch right. I mean, look at this. Look, I'm gonna over-rotate right now. My hand crosses over, my hip is out here. I can't pull any powerful water here because I can't bring in the strong muscles of my body. That is the same thing when we under-rotate. We're stuck right here and we're pulling water way out here. To get the proper power, we need to have the arm fully extended right in front of us and then pull it this way with our elbow high, and we'll get into the high elbow in just a second. But this allows us to get in the proper position to grab the most water. And we can establish that correct position right here on land. We can stand right here with our feet shoulders width apart, stick your arm in front of you, and then just rotate as far as you can without moving your feet. So my feet are still square and I'm rotated as far as I can right now. And now, from this position, I can grab tons of water. That's how we can get in the right position, right on land. Some cues to think about to remind yourself in the water how to stay properly aligned are long and strong. Also, always stay on top of the water. I'm not talking about on the surface of the water, but think in your mind that as you're catching and pulling, you need to keep your arm on top of the water as you pull through. Just think about that when we talk about having your body in proper alignment. Now let's fix that body alignment in the water. One of the best drills to fix body alignment is one of my favorites, the Superman drill. I'm holding onto the wall, extending my body as much as possible, pushing away from it, and then trying to hold that extension as I gently kick myself back. When I push away, my lower half sinks, but as soon as I re-extend, it becomes buoyant and I float right to the top. Now, we're gonna wanna take this extension and then go across the pool with it, but now we're gonna just gently twist to one side to the maximum angle of where I would initiate my catch. And you can see me doing that here. If you need fins for this drill, by all means, use them. We just wanna get into that right position. Did you see that? Ian Thorpe, the legend, amazing how when he pulls through the power that he has. But specifically for this mistake that we want to avoid, we're looking at the fingers as the hand enters the water. I get asked this question a lot. What should I do with my hands? Should I have my fingers spread open? Should I have them cupped? Well, that's a good question. When your hand enters the water, we actually want the fingers to be slightly open, just like Ian Thorpe had on that video, and we want the hand to be firm. So our hand enters in, and we're not cupped like this because we'll lose water, but when we have them slightly open, the water will actually form like an invisible paddle, and we can pull, it'll make our hand bigger, and we can pull more of it. So a big mistake that people make is that they have the hand loose, and then it bends, and they're not grabbing anything. So we want to have firm hands as we enter the water. Also guys, we don't want to be robotic when our arm enters the water. We want to be firm, but we don't want to be stiff like a robot, because stiffness as well will lead to a lack of water being pulled. So I know it's tricky guys. In swimming, it's a little bit of this and it's a little bit of that. But the cue that I want you to think about is loose firmness. Loose as your hand comes around, as those fingers enter the water, get firm and pull strong through. Also another great cue to think about in order to better understand that loose firmness is even though it's we technically call it a pull through, it's actually more of a push. You're pushing that water back. Imagine when you get out of the water with your hands on the wall and your palms are down and you push up. Well, that's kind of what you're doing with the water as you pull back. So let's go into the pool and let's look at how we can establish that loose firmness with our fingers and that catch. So guys, now it's all about grabbing maximum water. And I find that when you stand up like this and just try to move as much water as you can from side to side with the correct firmness of the hand, wrist, and fingers, you can really establish that feeling of grabbing water. And now try to bring it more into what it would be in your stroke. Keep a high elbow, catch the water with firm fingers and hand, and pull that water back towards you. Feel the water rushing onto your body as you pull it towards you. Then, of course, we want to start doing it in a motion of moving forward. Here, I'm pulling the water as much as I can, but only bringing it to the power position of the high elbow and then stopping and returning to trying to catch. And when you do it with double arms, it just kind of simplifies things. Now we're going to go past the power position and pull all the way through. Grab maximum water and just push it back. It's all about grabbing as much as you can. And notice that in all these drills where we're moving, we're keeping that body straight and aligned. So now this mistake is one of the most important ones, and actually it happens when you have a combination of the first two mistakes. And that is, of course, the proper execution of the catch itself all the way through the pool. So when we're talking the catch, and we did in the previous mistake, we talked about having loose firmness coming in with our fingers. Now we need to be careful of not dropping the wrist, I mentioned that before, and also the elbow. If your body is out of whack and out of alignment, you're gonna have a tough time having that elbow high and also having that wrist firm. So what we wanna do here is we're gonna pretend that we have a barrel underneath our arm as we pull the water. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like right now with the fit ball. So as we talked about before, that cue of always being on top of the water, now we're gonna get a visual so that you can better understand that to help you keep that high elbow and having that wrist bent properly. So when you're coming through, you come through like this, enter the water, and as we're getting to the power point of the stroke, right here where you're gonna grab the most water, you can just imagine that something circular like this is underneath you. And we're gonna do like we said before, we're gonna push it back and just push it behind us. And that's all that water just going way behind us and propelling us forward. That's what you wanna visualize when you're in the water. Just like this, guys. And it's a good idea to sometimes just lean on something like this and practice that feel of how that power going through can propel you forward on an object like this. Now let's transfer that over the fit ball cue into the water. Let's get things rolling with the single arm under the water pool, just focusing on keeping the elbow high and grabbing as much water as possible, imagining that we have that fit ball underneath our body as we pull through. Everything that we've talked about, we're applying now. Once you do single arm, you want to move into, of course, using both arms, still keeping them under the water, trying to pull maximum water backwards. And I want to finish things off with the double arm pull, which we've already shown, but it's a good one to just reaffirm maximum water pull. So we've talked about all the stuff that we can do for our catch, but let's also talk about some aids, some equipment that can help us. Of course, the biggest equipment that is perfect for the catch are some paddles. Now you want to have hand paddles where you only have your finger attached to the paddle, because if you use the wrist strap as well, that actually promotes bad technique. So hand paddles are huge because they teach you how to grab more water and feel that water better when it comes to the catch. Now another one that's not so well known is a swim band. And I can do that in my backyard pool right here. It teaches you to just pull that water behind you. When you're attached to that band, you can just focus on pulling water and not anything else because you're just stationary. So that's a great tool to also help you. I'll leave links in the description for the equipment that I use, and I think it's the best. Guys, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for all the interaction and feedback I've been getting on these YouTube videos. I'm just thrilled that the channel is helping you swim better, and we want to do so much more. So stick with us, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and we'll see you next time.